Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Dan Davidson. So, how do you start being a Lion Pride leader? Well, you start how you start everything else. How does a child start walking? Trial and error. Well, have you ever watched a child start walking? Well, it just sort of is very lousy. It's very funny, right? Falls, stumbles, bangs into things. No, it's not the best experience, right? Pretty much the same way as everything else you do in life, right? So you're going to be pretty lousy at it in the beginning. And it's a lifelong process of being the best at it because you're never going to be the best. There's no such thing as being the best at anything. So be prepared to start not being the best at it. And the three things, which is the most difficult, first of all, the most difficult thing for you may be different than what's the most difficult thing for me. But I think for everyone, the first thing is to separate you, your ego, from the project, okay, of being a leader. It's very challenging, right? Because it's going to get offended. And it's going to be sometimes taken for granted. You're going to give, and you're never going to be receiving as much as you give because that's what the nature of the job is, right? To be of service, to be of benefit. And sometimes you just keep on giving and never be appreciated or never be appreciated enough. Maybe taken for granted, even be offended. So it's just part of the nature of being a Lion Pride leader. The second is you got to keep your poise. Control your emotions. Very difficult for me. Sometimes you just sort of spare the moment. So it's been a work in progress for me, trust me. Because I come from a culture where we are very expressive. And so much more for me. I just express myself, as you can see. And we talk with our hands. We make gestures with our faces. We're very expressive. And sometimes more so even than, when we get emotional, we even become more so, more expressive. And so it's extremely important, obviously, to be able to control ourselves under pressure. Very difficult sometimes for me. So I've had to really take courses, leadership courses, group training, work on myself in even therapy. And that's extremely important. It's a constant and never ending improvement process, truly. Controlling our emotions, being in charge of our emotions in terms of being a leader. Greatest talking about leadership. It's right in my office. Who's that? Martin Luther King. Well, one of the greatest leaders and symbols of leadership beside Gandhi and some of the others for me, because truly, to be a leader, you not only have to be of service, but also you have to have courage and do the impossible sometimes, right? And even then, you're taken for granted. You are asked to do the impossible. And sometimes you really, truly put your life on the line for what you believe in, like he did. You've got to sometimes do what you got to do, even if it's at the expense of your life. So yeah, you got to keep your poise. You have to have humility. And courage is a must, right? Lion Pride leadership philosophy, number one, right? And you got to be able to put yourself in the place of everyone else that you are leading, right? So really feel their pain, feel their difficulties, challenges, and right? So emotional quotient is EQ is extremely important, as I've been saying, in terms of what it is that we do and also spiritual quotient, in terms of being a connected person to spirituality, because we are interconnected. And that spiritual quotient is the difference between someone who understands that we are a connected body of individuals, even with animals, with the planet, even with nature. And we can't just destroy things indifferently. Even if it's natures, even if it's animals. We cannot be indifferent about, nature, indifferent about animals, because we're interconnected. So it's a work in progress being a leader. So you just start where you are. We all do. And don't be afraid of the fact that you're young. If you're 18, 20, 21, I started 15 and I'm 55 and work in progress. I admit it, I'm a work in progress. I had a very bad fall 12 years ago. 12 years ago, I had a big fall and I found myself 6 feet under. I had to crawl myself back out of that. Apologize for my fall. Part of it was chemical imbalance in terms of, which I didn't even know. Part of it was emotional, like I was saying, difficulty controlling my emotions and managing my leadership skills, lack thereof at that time, and caused me to make some poor judgments in terms of decision making at the moment, and made some mistakes. So I had to recover from that mistake. It took a very long time. Sometimes your leadership sort of judgments, poor judgments, cost you dearly. And it did. And you pay for a very long time. But what can you do? You have to just admit to your mistakes and learn from it, and move on. So you just got to move on, man. We're human. We make mistakes, admit, learn, grow, serve, become better day by day, and then find yourself every day, become better than the day before. And that's what we got to do. But wherever we are, wherever you are, start now.